So let's get started with India's middle class. There has been a renewed optimism about the Indian economy not only in India but outside of India as well. You may ask why? Well, Indian government in the past 8 odd years has improved its quality of spending by investing heavily in infrastructure and addressing the leaks in welfare spending. As a result, especially post-COVID, India has performed significantly better on the economic front compared to its peers, compared to even the advanced economies. Major global firms are now setting up manufacturing capabilities in India, establishing retail ventures. Recently opened Apple stores in Mumbai and Delhi aptly demonstrate this theme. India, now estimated to have passed China to become the world's most populous nation, its middle class takes center stage. Since consumption accounts for about 60% of India's GDP, its middle class will drive India's growth story. Indian and global firms must now be wondering, how big is this opportunity set? Exactly how big is India's middle class? Estimates here differ. Some past estimates have put the number of middle class people well below 100 million. This appears low as getting solid data has historically been tricky in India. But with the introduction of goods and services tax in 2017 and with growing digitization of the economy, more and more people are being brought into the formal sector. This has resulted in a treasure trove of hard data for researchers to work with. One not-for-profit research firm estimates that there are about 432 million middle-class Indians. Income criterion the firm uses to qualify someone as middle class is making between 5 lakhs to 30 lakh Indian rupees per year. This income criterion is used because it mirrors the lowest and highest tax brackets for people who file taxes. Experts state that this income level provides an individual with economic security and allows for discretionary consumption. A different private equity firm uses number of taxpayers data to calculate the estimated size of India's middle class. Many Indians do not earn enough to pay income taxes, work outside the formal economy, or are exempted from taxes because they work in agriculture. As a result, in financial year 2022, only about 58 million individual returns were filed. So, this PE firm considers an average household size of 4.4 people, then adds another 100 to 200 million non-tax paying people in agriculture to reach an estimate of 356 to 456 million for the size of India's middle class. Either way, an average estimate of around 419 million large middle class is nothing to scoff at. Mudra loans in India at an all-time high. What is a Mudra loan anyways? Well, Mudra loan is offered under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana or Prime Minister's Mudra scheme. Mudra stands for Micro Units Development and Refinancing Agency. As the name suggests, these loans are meant for small business owners like shopkeepers, handicraftsmen, truck owners and so on. And so the loan amount that one can avail is also small, but you can get this loan without any collateral. Not having any collateral is or was one of the primary roadblocks in a budding risk-taker's path to start a business, especially in rural areas of India. Under the scheme, borrowers can get business loans in the range of $600 to $12,000. You can see the different types of loans and the loan amounts on the screen. In the fiscal year ending on March 2023, 58.8 million Mudra loans were sanctioned and $52 billion worth of loans were issued. That means the average loan amount was just $880. A strong growth was seen both in the number of borrowers and in the total loan amount issued. The scheme was launched in 2015 with an aim to provide funding to the unfunded so that they can lead a life of dignity and prosperity. The scheme has not only continued since then but has exceeded the target every financial year except for the COVID year of 2020-21. As per the data, a total of 408 million Mudra loans have been issued since 2015, amounting to $282 billion. Total non-performing assets in Mudra loans stood at 3.175% as of March 2022, indicating a significantly better financial health than India's formal banking sector, where NPAs are around 5%. I don't have the data on how many unique borrowers have made use of this scheme. But let's be conservative and say the same few million borrowers are taking out a MUDRA loan every year. Then 408 million total loans issued in 8 years comes out to be roughly 51 million loans per year. So 51 million unique borrowers in total. Does that mean then the scheme has created 51 million jobs in 8 years? Assuming these are one-person businesses, of course, something to think about. Rapid rise in India's super rich. A survey conducted by a not-for-profit think tank Price indicated progress on several fronts with Indian households. Number of poor households in India are projected to shrink. Middle income and rich households are expected to shoot up in the next decade. Here is how households are classified by Price based on their incomes. Seekers and strivers combine to make the middle class. That is, households earning between 5 lakh and 30 lakh rupees per year. And super rich households are those earning more than 2 crore rupees per year. Now the key findings. India will see a 5-fold increase in its super rich families by the turn of the decade. The number of super rich households have already doubled to 1.8 million in 5 years to 2021. A larger chunk of this growth has come from rural India. The super rich class will swell further to 9.1 million by 2031, again aided by faster growth in rural India. In addition to that, global wealth managers and foreign banks are expanding in India as the nation becomes home to a rising number of millionaires. Oxfam International estimates India minted 70 new millionaires each day between 2018 and 2022. Although India is also seeing a rapid rise of billionaires such as Gautam Adani, which highlights the rising inequality in a nation where around 800 million people are still receiving subsidized food grain every month. The survey also found that the country's middle class population of 432 million is the fastest expanding category. The middle class is expected to reach 715 million by 2031. In the same time period, the destitute class with incomes less than 1,25,000 rupees per year will shrink by more than half to 79 million. If these projections pan out, India's consumption-led growth will not only sustain but also lead to a virtuous economic cycle.